Hi guys, gals, and my non-gender conforming pals. My name is Carrington and welcome back to another video. Or if you are new here, then welcome. I would love if you would consider subscribing. Just hit that subscribe button down below and hit the little bell so you can be notified of all my future uploads. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So for today's video, we are going to be trying out the Makeup Revolution Nightmare Before Christmas collection. This came out a while ago and I bought it a while ago, but it is back in stock on Makeup Revolution and there are quite a few products still on Ulta's website, so you can check that out there. I have everything except for I don't have the Oogie Boogie gloss. I've got the Sally, the Zero, which if you guys remember from my What's New video, what's new is in like what I've just bought this past month, a Zero lip gloss will also be in my 1K giveaway whenever we reach 1,000 subscribers. So I figured that I would go ahead and do this video. I also do have the brush set. I in no way, shape, or form want to use those brushes. I want to keep them as like a little, like, I want to keep them as, what do I want to keep them as? As like a little like want to keep it in its case because it's just so super nostalgic. And also most of those brushes, as I mentioned in that last video showing what makeup I had bought, I'm not really going to use a whole lot of them. So for me it's just pointless to take them all out of the package when really I'm just going to display them anyways. So let's go ahead and jump into the eyeshadow palettes. I've got the Jack and the Sally, and I do plan on doing one look for each side. Here's the inside of the Jack palette. Let's do a couple swatches. So Love Never Dies. Oh, that's really chalky. Okay, let's try Mischief. Pumpkin Song. And Mummy Boy. So there's just a couple from the Jack Skellington palette. Let's move on to the Sally palette. Here's the inside of that one. Let's do a couple swatches for Sally. So let's do Boogeyman. Love is Eternal, Misfit Love, Shadow on the Moon. So the mattes, honestly, in either one of the palettes aren't swatching. All right, first up, let's start with the Sally palette. I'm going to do it on this eye. I am going to start with an M573. It looks like it's dirty, but I've color switched it. And let's, oh man, I don't know what I want to do. Okay, let's start with this Play Dead. Just tap the brush in there. The mattes and some of the shimmers do have like an embossing on it of like Jack Skellington. I kind of wish that for like the Sally palette they would have done like a Sally embossing, or maybe have like a Boogeyman one as well, like embossing, but it's just all Jack, and that makes me sad because I like Sally and Boogeyman and Oogie Boogie. Okay, okay, let's just keep digging in there. It is taking some layering and building to get these shadows to show up. And that is going to be a good thing for beginners. So for beginners, you know, if you need help with like how much product do you need and not blending too terribly, what am I trying to say? So if you're a beginner and you are notorious for like dipping in too much into a shade and now you aren't making a gradient, instead you're just making it all one big large color, this might be a good option for you to build up that shadow. But this is what it looks like after a couple coats of Play Dead. I'm going to take that same brush and dip into Mad Scientist. And the reason I'm dipping into that same brush is I'm just literally just lightly doing this in the crease and just a little bit above so you can see it, but it's not taking away from that other shadow we just laid down. And then I'm going to take my Morphe M433 and I'm going to dip into the shade Frightful. Just pat that on the outer corner. This looks like super orange on camera, but it's definitely like a brown. I think I'm going to do this shade right here, Take a Chance, and I'm going to lightly just kind of start out in this outer portion, build that up there. For the rest of the lid, I'm gonna go into, I'm gonna go into Boogeyman. This is the Sally Eye, the upper portion, and then for the lower lash line, I'm trying to use as many colors as possible for this. Okay, but I also don't want it to be like crazy. Let's take Vampire Teddy. I'm just gonna take a big, large like brush and then I just smoke it out here. Looks pretty good, and we used a couple different shades. Now for my inner corner, I'm like dropping everything to get my inner corner brush. Let's go into let's go into a glow. That's it for the Sally side. Again, the mattes were, you really had to build them up. The shimmers were very nice. They're very, very soft feeling. I think this would be a good beginner palette. But I think that if you are experienced in makeup, you're probably gonna have some frustrations with it, with the mattes just not being super pigmented. But if you're somebody that struggles with dipping into a palette that is super pigmented and the next thing you know it's way too overly pigmented, this will be good because just one coat is not enough, and just slowly starting to build it up, this would be a good option. So let's jump into the Jack palette. Okay, so I color switched my brushes. Let's see, what do I want to do? Okay, I'm gonna try to do something a little bit different. I'm not sure how well this is gonna work, but I'm gonna go into the shade Spooky first and coat my brush. Oh, that is much more pigmented than the other shades. Okay. And blend that out. Wow, that is super, super pigmented. Next, I wanna take in like my outer corner, I think I want to go with like this Beryl shade. Yeah, and so this shade is supposed to be darker than that purple shade, but as you can tell, like I'm literally having to build it up so much. And that purple shade, it was just so pigmented all at once. Okay, let's just go ahead and go into a shimmer. Tough one. Okay, let's go into Love. I'm gonna take that. Oh, is that doing anything? Well, it's it's kind of lightening up the lid, which is kind of what I wanted. I just kind of wanted it to be more sparkly and impactful. Yeah. Okay. Let's take like the outer corner brush and let's try going into Ghoulish. And if that doesn't work, then let's just leave it there, I guess. Okay, no. Okay, let's try the shade Shock. Let's try that out and see how well it does. It's okay. All right. For the lower lash line, let's do Love Never Dies. That one had a lot of fallout. And then for the inner corner, let's go into a Moon. Okay. So this is the Sally side. Here's the Jack side. Again, the mattes just really aren't there for me. I really just think, honestly, this is just like a nostalgia palette. And so if you bought it hoping it was going to be like amazing and revolutionary, it's not. But if it's something that you like for nostalgic purposes, totally, definitely. I'm going to go do my mascara and I will be right back. So the mascara is on. Next going to go into the highlighters. I'm pretty sure one highlighter is going to be too dark, but we'll just see. So this first one is Misfit Love, and that's like a gold. It's very creamy feeling. Oh, yeah, no, that's gonna be way too dark for me. But if you have a deeper skin tone, this is a highlight option for you. The next one is Moonlit Mischief and Madness. This one is kind of like a pink, champagne kind of color. And again, it's very super pigmented. Yeah, it's like a champagne kind of color. That one I think is gonna work best for me. Oh, okay, lots of fallout. Let's try it on the cheeks. Oh, that is super pigmented. Wow. Yeah, that is so blinding. Okay, Makeup Revolution. So yeah, these are super blinding. So if you're into that, I think you'll like these. So the last things in the collection are some lip gloss. So we have the Jack Skellington lip gloss, which is a gold glitter kind of color. You have Sally, which is pink and it looks like gold glitter reflex in it. And then you have Zero, which has no color to it. I already have my lips lined with a lip liner from e.l.f. It's their Retro Paradise and it's the Nude 3. And I'm gonna actually top that with the Jack Skellington. So yeah, this is extremely, it's got like a high pigment shine, as you can see, not sticky, not tacky, glides right on. My lips feel nice and soft and smooth. So the lip glosses are a huge win for me from this collection. I love the glosses. I can see me using this again, especially over top this lip liner. Beautiful. Again, the highlight, stunning, absolutely stunning. It does look like it has like a little bit of like glitter in it, but it's not one that's falling all over my face. It's not overpowering. I think it's very finely milled. So again, highlights and the glosses would definitely recommend. The brushes, which I did not show on camera, so it may have a nice quality feeling bristles. I'm not gonna use a flat foundation brush. The big powdery brush maybe for bronzer, but again, no, I like my little angled brushes better. And then they have 2 eye brushes. One I probably won't use. It's like a spoolie brow one, and I don't usually use like a pomade. Actually, I've never used a pomade. And then 1 eye brush that I would potentially use. So out of like all the brushes, I would maybe use 1 or 2, and that's just not worth the money to me. If they are brushes that you would use, or you want it for a collector's edition, definitely go check those out. The palettes were just slightly disappointing. You know, the mattes were very, very inconsistent. So with the Sally palette, the shades that I used, I had to use multiple times to build up. On the Jack one, the purple pigmented, like it was like you dip your brush in twice and suddenly it's everywhere. But then the other shades that were supposed to be deeper and darker just really aren't comparing. And the shimmer shades that I tried to use on the lid to kind of give like a more, you know, kind of like this side where it's very glossy and pigmented, it just wasn't happening for the shades that I used. I do say I am happy that I have it because I love The Nightmare Before Christmas. Such a good movie. Loved it since I was a kid. But I just don't think if you are looking for something to use that's going to be worth your money, I don't think the eyeshadow palettes are going to be it. Highlighters, if you are in a deeper skin tone, you know, they have one for you. Lighter skin tones, they have one for you. Pick up whichever one's going to work best for your skin tone. I think that's worth it unless glitter's a huge deal or you don't want one that's blinding. The glosses, love the glosses, definitely worth it. I now think I'm going to go get the Oogie Boogie one because it's been restocked on Makeup Revolution. So good. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like the video, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye.